Darwin would be delighted to witness what modern microbiology and molecular biology has achieved. Then the mapping of the DNA molecule, made between 1990 and 2003, for 13 years. Scientists can see which mechanisms are initiated from the beginning of an organism's development until he becomes an individual. The study of DNA is one of the greatest triumphs of modern science. It leads to our instincts, understanding of how animals grow and evolve to a level that Darwin could only dream of. The DNA molecule is really the real secret of life. It is a perfect system to store huge amounts of information that is necessary to create all kinds of creatures. DNA consists of an elongated molecule that spins round in a double spiral. The internal part of the spiral consists of 4 smaller molecules called G, A, T and C. DNA can be found in the cells of all living creatures on Earth. The 4 letters are the alphabet of life. Combinations of these 4 letters can give rise to the organism's individual form. The DNA molecule is a chapter by itself that must be studied throughout to understand its structure. In short, I will clarify what the 4 letters represent. Namely, they are called the 4 nitrogen-containing nucleobase cytosine, C, guanine, G, adenine, A, and thymine, T. They pair with each other with T and C with G with hydrogen bonds and joining the twin coil. Combinations of these 4 letters can shape our genes consisting of proteins. And these proteins make the substance of the being's bodies. A protein can create hair, another muscle, etc. In other words, all the information included in these 4 letters can create all the creatures found on our planet. DNA has a different feature, it never remains the same. At the mating, the offspring get half the DNA of the father and half from the mother. DNA can also be altered by mutation. Mutation is an important ingredient in the course of evolution. Without mutation, everything would be stagnant generation after generation. Mutation generates variation, differences between individuals. In mutation, the letter A may be replaced by the letter G or C if the letter T. Mutations can be of advantage or disadvantage or even have a neutral effect on the offspring, depending on the conditions the organism is fighting against. For an organism that has light fur and suddenly needs a dark to camouflage in the new dark biotope that offers him survival opportunities. A mutation will provide him with dark fur to melt in his new environment and not become a victim of predators. One can imagine how successful Darwin would be if he knew that today's scientists can find the genes responsible for evolutionary changes. In other words, genetic evolution. To understand how evolution works, all you have to do is compare the genes of the beings. The program to map the human genome started in 1990 had been aimed at identifying the 3 trillion letters in our DNA. The letters were the 4 original A, C, G and T. But they were placed in admirable different combinations numbered to 3 trillion. It was thought that such a developed organism like ours would have enormous many genes between 80,000 and 120,000, while the mapping of our genome was found to have only 23,000, the same number of genes as a chicken. The final response came 2003, 13 years later of the program's start. Parallel to the mapping of the human genome, mapping of other species was ongoing. And it was known that humans have a large number of identical genes with other organisms. With the chimpanzees, the identity was more than 90%. The question arose immediately: what separates us from each other so radical anyway? Continuation will come.
Look at that beauty.